Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. Before we get into the fan cam, shout out to the sponsor, Match Bingo. It's a bit like Thiago Silva. It's quite sad. It's the last game that Match Bingo are going to be our sponsors for. This is your last chance before the Euros to download Match Bingo and get stuck in. You've got to be over 18. Check it out. Click the link below. It's over, people. The season is over. Helps the channel, helps them as well. Check out Match Bingo. Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. My name is Alex. I'm outside Stamford Bridge with Nina after a 2-1 win against Bournemouth. I tell you what, I predicted a 2-0, so I thought we would get a clean sheet. We struggled to hold on to it towards the end, but look, it was comfortable enough. We got the win.
Yes, we did. We got the win. I'm not going to be negative today. You're not going to get a single negative word out of me, Alex, because we've stood here all season at the start, during January, after defeats, after draws, after drawing to bottom teams like Burnley, Sheffield. We've been through it this season, okay? And I'm done complaining. We overachieved to what I had in my mind in March. We didn't even think we'd get any European football, especially after the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup final. We thought, yeah, that's done. That was truly our most realistic kind of European entrance there, and now we've got it. Conference, Europa, one way or another, we've gotten into Europe. And considering how unpredictable, what a roller coaster it's been this season, how up and down, low and crazy we have been, we've somehow done it. We've gotten ourselves into Europe, so yeah.
Do you believe that we deserve it?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest, but look, the thing is, we've been literally in and out of 11th, 12th, -1 to 0 to 1 to 2 to -1 goal differences. We've been stuck in this little bubble for so long, literally couldn't get out, couldn't move in any way, and now suddenly, after that 5-0 defeat against Arsenal, things have been an upward trajectory since, and it's not been so bad. Whether we deserve it or not, I mean, us fans deserve it, so if you're asking for us, yes, we do. But I think the players definitely, stepped up in like the last few games. There's been things have looked better on the pitch, and all round it looked like we really wanted to get back into Europe. Yeah, I'd say so.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a huge learning curve this season, 100%. Still so many things to improve on, and like by us being in Europe doesn't mean that we've had an incredible season. It doesn't mean that everything was perfect. No, but considering how low my standards were back in March, where I genuinely didn't think that we were getting out of like 9th, 10th place, then yeah, exceeded my expectations.
What about the game?
The game, God, as soon as Thiago Silva's farewell was there, the game left my mind, But the game, yeah, we set up well. In terms of the lineup, I think Poch is not rushing any like players that are just returning from injuries. It's why we didn't see Nkunku start, Gusto start, etc. But this lineup has been working, especially since Enzo's been out with, obviously after his operation, Caicedo and Gallagher have gotten more comfortable playing alongside each other. I thought Caicedo looked pretty good as well. He was winning interceptions, he covered a lot of ground, he scored from the halfway line. So yeah, I think he's another player that's truly grown into the season. He's grown into Chelsea, he's grown into the squad, and again an exciting player. Are we going to get hit by this, coach?
Nah, we'll be all right.
We'll be all right. It's all right. We're in Europe, so. But yeah, like we looked decent. I thought we were making things happen. Bournemouth were pressing us a lot from the front, though, and I think we struggled a little bit at times to play the ball out the back, distribute it. At times, hard to play through the middle as well. But on the most part, it looked decent. I think once we had that goal, we calmed down a little bit. But I think Bournemouth were equally involved. I think they had quite a few opportunities, especially when they came out hungrier in the second half. I think that is when we truly kind of felt a little bit of pressure. It was a bit nervy at times as well, but that's a pattern we've seen, right? We come out in the second half all season and we say, like, what does Poch say to the players? It's been a reoccurring pattern, but thankfully, obviously Sterling getting the second, and then we didn't concede, but we could have. We've seen this game many times this season, but frankly, I'm just happy that at least for the last one this season, we managed to get the 3 points.
Bournemouth are a well-coached side. I mean, I was impressed.
100%. I mean, there's a reason why their coach has been so heavily praised this season. He's been obviously doing bits, got them playing good football, and also Bournemouth for us as a Chelsea side, is a difficult team to play against. In the past, when you look at it, Bournemouth is always a difficult game, and they give us a hard time. Solanke didn't start today, but if he had done, you're maybe talking about one of those opportunities being scored.
I think he should have scored, to be honest with you, because he did come on.
And he did come on, and he had a chance, didn't he? It went a little bit wide, but those are the players that will come on and punish you if you give them opportunities, if you make defensive errors, and we're just lucky today we didn't. But again, I'm not going to be critical, Alex. And
I'm not trying to lead you in, Nina. I'm not trying to.
I know. I'm just saying it for myself because I truly feel happy today. Thiago Silva got the send off he deserves. Just such a, Alex. Legend gets thrown around these days nowadays in football with ease, and it's almost lost its kind of meaning and the connotations of what makes a good legend. It doesn't have to be someone that's been at the club for 10, 11 years, like other legends we've had in the past. 4 years it's taken for the whole club and the whole of Chelsea's fan base to fall in love with a player. Footballers nowadays divide opinion. Some like certain players, others won't. People disagree. Thiago Silva, I'm pretty sure, literally unites us as a fan base. There's not a single Chelsea fan that I have heard say a bad word about him.
A single football fan that would say that.
Single football fan, there you go. And everything he's done on the pitch, off the pitch, has been so sincere, so genuine, and we've appreciated it. And Alex, I think it kind of means extra, and it's extra emotional because when so much changed in the last 2 years, we didn't have that much in terms of our old Chelsea that we keep kind of going towards. But Thiago Silva's been that little one source of continuity that's literally stuck with us, that has picked us up out of the depths. He's been there for the players, and the way the players said goodbye to him as well, exactly what Thiago Silva's been like in the dressing room. So it's a big loss. It really is a big loss. And when a lot of fans this season said don't play Silva, he's old and he's slow out the back, I said, you know what, guys, you're missing the point. Thiago Silva's transitioning all these young players out the back. Your Disassis, your Badia Shields, your Gustos and your Chalobahs. These are the players that Thiago Silva has helped truly develop and that basically pick up where he left off tonight.
And Pochettino was very emotional as well. He was crying.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him walk into the tunnel. He didn't clap the fans, which I didn't really understand. Maybe he was just emotional though, because he was upset. I could
100%.
see that.
He's an emotional guy, definitely. I see that as well. And Poch has been preaching a lot of things in terms of he doesn't want to build this fake relationship with the fans. He wants it to be real because he knows that a lot of the time this season he's taken criticism deservedly. Some fans have been extra, powerful when they stand, and the fact that they've wanted him out as well. We've been a lot more lenient towards him, but I don't think he wanted to come round and build this whole, oh look, we're into Europe, everything's okay, because he still knows that this season shouldn't have perhaps been as difficult as it was. So fair enough, I guess it's a combination of both emotion and also that he for himself has higher standards or had better expectations for just the all-round how this season would have gone.
Begdad, Egbali was here, Feliciano was here as well. I saw them earlier. I didn't speak to them. I just saw them walking past. They've got something to believe in that it's starting to click. For me, if you sack Pochettino, it's criminal. Other fans will disagree. I know you're on the same side as I am.
Yep.
What does Poch need to go to the next level with this team?
See, for starters, actual selection for players. Now he's got that because those players that he sort of works with in pre-season, we've almost kind of gone backwards because what we saw against, in pre-season was this interesting kind of build up in how we were attacking, the little link ups with your Jacksons and your Mudryks and your Nkunkus and stuff. And then that suddenly died when Nkunku got injured, and then we didn't see him for the whole Premier League. And I know that it's not an excuse. You can't just build your season around this one single player, but, Poch was just working out certain players, and I think a lot of that changed. We've had so much injuries. We literally started playing with 2 fullbacks on the pitch in 2024, so that tells you a lot. But I think what he needs, truly, rinse and repeat, and some of you will laugh, but time, he has actually this season built a strong relationship with the players. I know sometimes as fans that can mean little or perhaps not so much, because you watch the game and then you don't see the players, or you don't see what goes on in the dressing room, you don't see what happens at Cobb and what's said the next day, but those players actually value him and love him. So whatever that's worth, that's something. So much change at the club. If Poch is sacked tomorrow, do you think these players are going to believe that anything here at Chelsea is actually being kind of built for the long term? They're just going to look at it and think, well, actually, if I don't perform next season, I'm going to be gone as well, or I'm going to rot on the bench, or or something else. Or what are we're trusting?
Loved isn't a word that's often thrown around with coaches. I think respect is something that a lot. But I do think the word is loved as well as respect with Pochettino, because even with Tuchel, look, we love Tuchel, but half the squad was divided before he got sacked. That was partially the ownership's fault because they should have got rid of more players, but that's still the case. And for Poch to keep the dressing room happy through the lows we've had, that's respectable.
100%, and there's not been a single player that's come out and really questioned him. You know, they all have said that they're happy to stick by them. And like I said, if you want to work something, one of the first things that kind of I remember from Poch's interview when he first came and sat down and, you know, did that really big interview that we were all like, wow, like this guy knows what what this club needs, is he said something about building relationships with everyone at the club. You know, people laughed that he had that barbecue and stuff, but it wasn't funny. He actually understood that Chelsea has had so many broken relationships since the takeover, so many people that left the door, people that the club have been working with for years and years. You know, Thiago mentions Marina, you know, these people that left, and everyone kind of came together to learn from the get-go. It's like with anything, if you start from scratch, things are going to take long to improve, right? So we've not seen everything that's gone on behind closed doors. I choose to believe that something, you know, is going on.
The fact that you say that as well, when the game was finished, I saw Pochettino shake everyone's hand, the camera guys, the editors, all of his staff, and then you talk about building relationships with everyone else. The first manager that comes to mind is one of the greatest managers of all time, Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah,
he knew everyone.
Exactly.
He was renowned for it.
He knew everyone, literally, from like what the catering staff to
I'm
like
not comparing
the people that open the door.
Ferguson to Poch.
Make that clear. You're gonna get clipped. Get clipped up. No, so it's important. And look, I could be wrong. Like tactically, what I've seen, there's been criticism, right? We've said it. You know, the Arsenal game. There's been certain games where he set us up wrong. Yeah, fair enough. But there's been games where we've also seen what his idea is, right? So moving forwards, fair enough. Next season, it could start off and not be great again, and people are going to say, oh yeah, this is what you wanted to give him time, but purely just because of relationships and whatever that's worth, it might not mean much to anyone here, but we cannot sack another manager and start from scratch over this season. It's just simply not good enough. And people say, oh yeah, but how can you say a manager needs a transfer window or this and that? A lot of these players were not Poch players. He came and he just started dealing with everything he had, and we do have areas we need to address over summer. Let him have a little bit of agency, find out who he wants, find out who he wants to replace. Irreplaceable Thiago Silva, but find out what experience you want to bring into the team and do it your way kind of thing. But I just think nothing good comes from him sacking him. But I'm happy, Alex. I'm happy. Like I said, I expected nothing in March. So the fact that we are playing some form of European football, we made it to Wembley twice. You know, we've had a chance to win 2 domestic cups this season. Yeah, it's not so bad for a mid-table Chelsea, huh?